it was incident. And if you saw that ratio of the victims, physical assault, there is 59% victim was victim of physical assault. It is highest. And 4% victim was detained, 7% was harassment, and 7% also victim was fabricated in false and fabricated cases. This is a ratio. And then just who was the perpetrators to involve this kind of heinous incident? You saw that there was a different kind of involvement. The powerful group in community, local government member is like as the member, chairman, member of parliament, criminal group, organized criminal group, police, miscreant, others, and Hizra. They were the main perpetrators who perpetrated this kind of incident against the LGBTQ peoples. In 9 incidents, 80 victims was by the powerful group. In 4 incidents, 8 victims was by the local government member. 4 incidents, 4 victims was the criminal group. 5 incidents, 14 victims was perpetrated by the police officer. And 8 incidents, 12 victims was by self. 4 incidents, 4 victims was by the miscreant. Others was 8 incidents and 11 victims. And Hizra in 9 incidents, 133 victims. It was the ratio of the perpetrator-wise incident. Just you can see that 17% incident happened by the powerful group in Bangladesh. 10% was by the police officer. And 16% was others. 16% was by self. 17% was by the Hizra group. 8% incident perpetrated by the miscreant. And if you saw the ratio of the victims perpetrated by, 65% victim was victimized by the Hizra. 7% was victimized by others. 2% was victimized by the criminal group. 2% by the miscreant. 9% victim was victimized by the police. And 6% was by themselves. Just then you can see what the reason behind the incident and victims. There was 4 incidents and 4 victims was due to the pre-enmity, and 7 incidents happened where 106 people was victimized due to financial greediness, and 27 incident was happened where victim was 56 due to social unacceptability. This is the main reason. And 6 incident where 31 victim was internal conflict, and 7 incident and 7 victim was other reason. Here you can see that ratio of the victim by region. You can see the 28%, 20%, 8%, 50 victim was due to the social norms, especially our criminalized law. This is the region, 28%. And internal conflict between the different LGBTQ group, especially for the transgender group. We call in Bangladesh there is the Hijra group due to their internal conflict. And financial greediness, it is also the internal conflict, one kind of internal conflict. It is happened internally between the Hijra or transgender group. And in ratio of incident behind the region, you can show that 53% incidents happened due to our social unacceptability, due to our social norm, due to our criminalized law. It was the 53% incident. And 12% incident was internal conflict. And financial greediness was 13% and other was 14%. Now, just what was the impact and consequence? Due to this kind of violence, there is a lot of impact and consequence we documented. First was the physical injuries. Second was that due to the physical injuries, that the health complication. And then it increased the risk of sexual transmitted disease due to the sexual violence. Also, there is some impact of traumatic brain injuries due to this kind of violence. Moreover, there is the long-term health consequence due to this kind of violence. And it is also impact their personal safety. And sometimes it is developing post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, due to facing this kind of violence by the perpetrators. And they also always facing the depression and anxiety due to their persecution. And also they feel the low self-esteem and self-worth. It is the, and also they are, due to the persecution, they grow the suicidal intention and also self-harm. And also they are also social isolation and withdraw from the society due to this kind of long persecution. It is the long-term and short-term consequence of this kind of persecution. Fear and trauma. And also there are sometimes suppression from their rights due to this kind of persecution they faces. Next, our observation was what was the challenge? Why this kind of persecution is happening in Bangladesh regularly? We found that there is the discrimination and violence. It is the main challenge in Bangladesh. You know that in every sector, you know, from the family, start from the family, then the society, then the state. Everywhere the LGBTQ peoples are facing discrimination and violence. Then, you know, our penal code, there is a section 377. It is clearly penalize the homosexuality up to life imprisonment. It is one of the biggest challenge for the LGBTQ people in Bangladesh. Though in Bangladesh, this section is applied very low, but they are always make scared to the peoples showing this section and always trying to make them suppress saying, making them afraid to implicate, to apply this law. Another challenge, we saw that there is the limited access to legal support for the LGBTQ peoples, because most of the LGBT people, when they victimize the persecution, they cannot explore themselves why they are persecuted. So most of the time they did not go to the uh, uh, they cannot get the legal support from the peoples. It is very limited for the LGBTQ people. Another challenge is the family rejection. As I told that they are discriminated start from the family. When the family member come to know that a LGBT, his her or his son or brother or anybody is his sexual orientation as a LGBT people, they throw them. At first, they try to therapy, conversation therapy, then try to persecution, try to physical assault, physical beating, even sometimes the rape. When they cannot, then they throw them out from their family. It is the another main challenge. And also, there is a limited access of healthcare for the LGBTQ people, so they are suffering a lot of disease internally. And after the family rejection, there also another challenge is the social exclusion and isolation. Society don't accept them, so always they are scattered. They cannot integrate with the society. So they are deprived from education, they are deprived from healthcare, they are deprived from the their job market, where they are deprived. And also lack of support and resource. This is another main challenge, because you know in Bangladesh it is rare resource for the LGBTQ peoples. And also there are some organization, association, non-profit association, they are doing for the LGBT peoples, but not for their rights. They're only working for the health sector for the LGBT peoples. No one is working for the rights of the LGBTQ peoples openly, because it is socially not accepted. Uh, in state level, it is not accepted. Religious, it is not accepted. It is difficult to do openly. And another thing is that the resource funding for the organization, it is very, very, very limited. Because you know that most of the organization, they are want a registered organization who are working in NGO sector. But if you disclose that you are working for the LGBT peoples in Bangladesh, the government will not give you the permission to work there. So in underground, without disclosing, some of the organizations they are working without or limited resource. And finally, our recommendation was first, we need the legal reform. Obviously, we need the decriminalize the homosexuality in Bangladesh. We need criminalize the conversion therapy, and we need the Sexual Minority Protection Act to protect the LGBT peoples in Bangladesh. Though in last year, our Human Rights Commission, they're trying to pass a act only for the third gender peoples, not for the transgender or not for the others LGBTQ peoples. But last week, our Ministry of our Home, he declared that they will not pass this kind of protection law. Secondly, we need the policy initiative. Already we said that we need a integrated and inclusive policy policy initiative for ensure the rights of LGBT people in Bangladesh. And for this, we need the cooperation between all the local and international level to do this. Advocacy and awareness campaign. We need effective advocacy in national level, international level, UN level, European level, and everywhere we need the advocacy and awareness campaign for decriminalization and also ensure the rights of LGBT peoples in Bangladesh. As this kind of conference, I think it is our tools for advocacy too. And also our recommendation, education and training. You know that we need to include the sexual minority issues in our education level. You know, last year, Bangladesh government trying to include the third gender to our 7th class book. But the conservative group and also the religious group and also others group, including the main opposition, except the present government, ruling party, others, all the group, they was against that. So the government compelled to drop out from the courts, this kind of course. This year, again the government included one chapter for the third gender peoples. But last 1 month, there is a lot of demonstration happening in Bangladesh by the Islamic group, by the political party to drop out this lesson from the class. But we need this. Finally, our recommendation is the collaboration and partnership. We need a strong collaboration with the different organizations, not only the LGBT organization. We need also collaboration with the mainstream organization who are working for the human rights, because only LGBT organization cannot reach our goal in Bangladesh. We need all human rights organizations to go forward. And international cooperation. We need international cooperation for doing our activities in Bangladesh effectively. Finally, this was my presentation. Just my appeal to all the everybody to stand beside us by financial, technical, and moral support to ensure rights of the LGBTQ peoples in Bangladesh. Thanks all of you and all of your remarks. Welcome.